Ever felt this before? You're scrolling through your phone on a Friday night, feeling lonely, watching everyone else's stories from parties and hangouts. You think, I wish I had plans. I wish someone would invite me out. And then, someone does. A text pops up. Hey, want to grab dinner tomorrow? And suddenly, your first thought isn't excitement, it's panic. What do I wear? What if I run out of things to say? What if there's an awkward silence? And before you know it, you're crafting the perfect excuse to cancel. Sound familiar? If you've ever experienced this bizarre contradiction, desperately wanting connection while simultaneously dreading it, you're not alone. So many of us are stuck in this exhausting cycle. Why do we feel this push and pull? Why can't our brains just pick a side? Today, let's unpack this paradox, and I promise, by the end of this video, you'll understand yourself a little better. Here's the thing. Social connection isn't just a nice to have. It's literally built into our biology. Think about it, humans are social creatures. For thousands of years, we survived because we stayed in groups. Being alone in prehistoric times, that was basically a death sentence. You needed your tribe for protection, for food, for survival. And our brains, they developed an entire reward system around social connections. When we feel accepted, when someone really gets us, when we have a genuine laugh with a friend, our brains release dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin. These are the same chemicals that make us feel good when we eat our favorite meal or accomplish something we're proud of. It's like your brain is saying, yes, this is good, do more of this. There's actually a famous study where researchers found that social rejection activates the same pain centers in our brain as physical pain. When you feel left out or excluded, your brain literally experiences it as hurt. So when you crave social interaction, that's not weakness. That's not you being clingy or needy. That's your brain doing exactly what it was designed to do, seeking connection, because connection equals survival. Even if you have social anxiety, that deep-seated need for connection is still there, still operating in the background, like a radio that never turns off. Social anxiety doesn't mean you don't want connection, it means you want it desperately, but you are terrified of rejection, judgment, or embarrassment. Here's something that might surprise you. People with social anxiety often have higher levels of empathy and emotional sensitivity. Let me paint a picture. You are at a party. You make a joke. And nobody laughs. Not even a pity chuckle. Just silence. For someone without social anxiety, they might think, bad joke, and moved on in 5 seconds. But for you, that moment replays in your head for days. Why did I say that? They probably think I'm so weird. I should never speak again. Maybe I should just leave the country and start a new life. That overthinking spiral. Did I say something weird? Do they secretly hate me? Why did I phrase it like that? Should I text them to apologize? That's not a character flaw. That shows you care deeply about your relationships. You want things to go well. You want to be understood. You don't want to hurt anyone's feelings or make things uncomfortable. Here's a real example. I once spent 3 days agonizing over whether to send a follow-up text to someone I'd met at a coffee shop. 3 days. I drafted probably 15 different versions. Is this too eager? Too casual? Should I use an emoji? Is an emoji too much? Why? Because I cared about making a good impression. I wanted that connection to work. The problem isn't that you're bad at socializing, it's that you care so much about doing it right that the pressure becomes overwhelming. People without social anxiety don't necessarily have better social skills, they just have lower stakes in their minds. They are not running complex simulations of every possible outcome. You are not antisocial. You're carrying the weight of wanting every interaction to be perfect. And that's absolutely exhausting. This intense desire to connect well, to be truly understood, that's actually your social instinct working at full power. It's just stuck in overdrive. Let's talk about what's actually happening in your brain when social anxiety kicks in. Imagine you are walking in the forest 50,000 years ago, and you heard a rustling in the bushes. Your brain immediately sounds the alarm. Danger. Predator. Run. Your heart races. Your palms sweat. Your muscles tense up. That's your amygdala, your brain's fear center, activating your fight or flight response. This system kept our ancestors alive. But here's the problem. Your brain sometimes can't tell the difference between a real threat and a social threat. You walk into a room full of people, and that same alarm system activates. Heart racing? Check. Sweaty palms? Check. Overwhelming urge to flee? Check. Your brain treats the possibility of saying something embarrassing the same way it would treat encountering a hungry lion. It sees a room full of strangers and responds as if you're facing mortal danger. Let me give you a concrete example. You are invited to a party. Here's what happens. 2 days before, this might be fun. I should go. 1 day before, wait, who else is going? What if I don't know anyone? Day of, your brain starts generating disaster scenarios. What if I spill something on myself? What if I'm standing alone in the corner and everyone thinks I'm a loser? What if someone asks me what I do and I freeze up? What if there's nothing to talk about and it's just awkward silence? 1 hour before, full panic mode. You text, "Hey, I'm so sorry, I'm not feeling well. Rain check?" And here's the kicker, the moment you cancel, you feel immediate relief. Your anxiety drops. Your body relaxes. But then, an hour later, when you're sitting home alone scrolling through Instagram, seeing photos from the party you skipped, and the loneliness creeps back in. I should have gone. Why am I like this? So when you feel that urge to cancel plans, to stay home, to avoid that networking event, that's not you being lazy or antisocial. That's your brain's ancient protection system activating, just in completely the wrong context. Social anxiety isn't about rejecting connections. It's about your brain trying to protect you from perceived danger that doesn't actually exist. The irony, the very thing your brain thinks is protecting you is actually preventing the connection you desperately need. So why do we still want to socialize? Because underneath all that fear, all those worst-case scenarios, all that overthinking, your social instincts are still alive and well. That desire to reach out, to share a meal with someone, to hear "me too" when you share something vulnerable, to laugh until your stomach hurts with a friend, that's your humanity speaking. That's the part of you that knows, deep in your bones, that connection is what makes life actually worth living. Social anxiety doesn't erase that need. It just buries it under layers and layers of self-protection. Think about it this way. Imagine you're really thirsty, but you are afraid the water might be poisoned. You still want the water. You still need the water. The thirst doesn't go away just because you're scared. You're just stuck in this painful limbo between need and fear. That's social anxiety. Wanting connection is human nature, it's your biology, your evolution, your deepest needs. Fearing connection is your defense mechanism, it's your brain trying to keep you safe. And social anxiety? That's these two forces waging war inside you every single day. And that's why it feels so exhausting. You are not broken. You're not doing it wrong. You're not too sensitive or overthinking things. You're just experiencing the very human tension between the need for belonging and the fear of getting hurt. Between wanting to be seen and being terrified of what people will see. If you've made it this far, I hope you feel a little more understood. You're not alone in this push and pull. Millions of people are navigating this same tension every single day. The good news, understanding why you feel this way is the first step towards finding balance. You don't have to choose between forcing yourself into a packed nightclub or becoming a hermit. You don't have to be the life of the party or completely isolated. There's a middle path, and it starts with being compassionate with yourself. Maybe it's coffee with one friend instead of a big group. Maybe it's showing up for 30 minutes instead of the whole event. Maybe it's texting someone "I miss you," even if you can't handle plans this week. Small steps, imperfect connection, that counts too. If this resonated with you, drop a comment below. Seriously, I read them all, and I'd love to hear your experience. What does this push and pull feel like for you? And if you want more content on navigating anxiety, mental health, and the beautifully messy reality of being human, hit that subscribe button. Remember, your desire for connection isn't a weakness. It's not something to be ashamed of. It's proof that you're human. that your heart is still open, and that you're still
我
hoping
吃大
for
牙发的，
something
你知道
real.
吗？
And that's actually pretty brave. See you in the next one.